Good morning, it's Pastor Curt here, and I want to go right back to Philippians chapter 1, verse 21, where Paul says this, "For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain." What Paul's simply saying here is, if I go on living, I'm going to live in the purpose of Christ, which is going to be awesome. And if I pass, I'm going to go into the presence of Christ, which is even more awesome. He says, I can't lose. No matter what my circumstances are, I'm going to continue to gain and gain and gain because of the purpose and presence of Christ. Out of that thinking, he was able to do some of the most miraculous and powerful ministry this world has ever seen. I mean, think about it. He shows up to Philippi. The first thing he does is he recruits a powerful business person. And then he rescues a demonized teen. And then he goes into the jail, and the gospel message starts reverberating among all the jailers. And this church is formed that eventually takes over all of Western Europe. How come he had so much power? How come he had so much impact? Well, maybe his power had to do with his mindset. You see, there's a little scene in this classic movie, Finding Nemo, that kind of gives us a hint here. And it's the scene of the seagulls. You remember that? It's just a tiny little bit at the end. And the seagulls, well, they have one particular word they say over and over again. Paul had such a powerful impact because he had the exact opposite mindset of those seagulls. In fact, he develops this idea in chapter 2. He says we have to have the exact same mindset as Christ. Verse 5, chapter 2. The exact same mindset. What is that mindset? One person described it this way. They said it's going as low as you can to become as high as you can. It's the mindset of humility. And his description of that unifying humility of Jesus in chapter 2, I mean, it'll blow you away. Honestly, if you've never studied this passage, it'll blow you away. If you've looked at this passage over and over again, like I have, it'll blow you away. I literally remember right where I was sitting in high school the very first time I read Philippians chapter 2. Now, I'm not going to go through it in this Devo because I want you to come to church. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on this idea of born for unity. When we get the same mindset as Jesus, we get attuned to Jesus, we start unifying every single relationship in our life. And when we unify our relationships, that's when we become powerful for impact. Maybe the Apostle Paul had so much power because he and the Philippians had so much unity. What would happen this Christmas, this Thanksgiving, this week, if you walked in unity with the people around you? I'm going to tell you what would happen. You'd have a greater impact. You'd have a greater experience. You would gain and gain and gain. If you get out of mine and into his and yours, you're going to change your entire life. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on about this. You get to church. And by the way, bring someone with you. You know the person you always fight with at Thanksgiving? Bring them especially. And we're going to be born for unity all weekend long at Bayside. I'll see you there.